Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Friday, the 26th of March 2021. Another week has flown by. Time goes past so quickly these days. In the news, I see that the Ever Given is still blocking the Suez Canal. It's been like that for a couple of days now. They can't seem to shift it. It's huge. I was trying to imagine the size of it. It's difficult when you see just watching video or just see a picture. It's difficult to imagine the size until you see a close up and see the size of those shipping containers, and then you remember that people turn shipping containers into small houses, and that will give you a better idea of the scale of the thing. So it really is a huge problem, and it's not going to be easy to overcome, but let's hope they can do it quite quickly because there might be essential supplies on that ship, things that people really need as well as just your everyday consumer goods. Okay, in today's Sudoku puzzle, the Guardian has listed it as hard, but we won't take them at their word because yesterday's was also listed as hard and in fact turned out to be anything but. So if you're a beginner, and you'll see at the title as I put up at the beginning, if you think that it's worthwhile as a beginner, the rules are each column has 9 squares. Every square must contain one number. The number must be unique and therefore must be between 1 and 9. Same thing for the rows, and within each section, like this, 9 sections, there are 9 squares, and the same rule applies. It's a rule of 9. That's it. So how do we go about finding numbers? Usually from a process of elimination. For example, we see that because there's a 4 in this row, excuse me, we can't put a 4 here or here, and there's 4 in this row already, so it can't appear again, so no 4 here or here. So we can find our first number straight away and put in a 4 here. We can also see a 4 up here. Look, 4 blocking along here, 4 blocking along here, and this 4 that we just put in helpfully blocks this column. This 4 blocks this column, and so we can also put in a 4 in that position there. I see an 8 blocking along here in this row, 8 blocking in this row, and an 8 in this column up here, and so there's only one space left to put an 8 that can go there. Okay. 1 in this column here, 1 in this column here, and 1 in this row. So again, the same simple technique of just casting your eyes along up and down the rows and columns. 1 across here blocking these 2 squares, this 1 blocking these squares here. So 1 has to go there. This 2 now blocking these 2 squares here. We don't yet have a 2 in this segment here, and so 2's got to come here, hasn't it? Okay, looking around the grid, these are not things that are done instantaneously. If you want instantaneous gratification, Sudoku is not for you. It's a game that takes some time. Sometimes the more time it takes, the more fun it is, believe it or not. Alright, let's see what's missing here. 1, 2, we don't have 3 or 7, and so that will allow us to know what's missing here. We don't have 3 or 7, we don't know what that is though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 and 9 have to be here. Does that help? 6 and 9? No, it's not helping either. 6 is going to be down here. 9, no. That's 6 and 9, so in here has to be 3 and 7. No, not helping either. 7 will be down here. No, not really helping anywhere. But just thought I'd let you join in with my thought process there. Ah, 3 and 1 in the same column here and leading right through this column here. Look, so that might give us some help, knowing that 1 and 3 has to be a pair here and here. In fact, I'm going to just put those in to remind me that 1 and 3 have to go in those locations, because now that we know that, we can work out these 3 squares, because we know that 1 and 3 can't go here. Even if we can't get the exact order, we can at least find out what they are. So missing numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, 7 and 9. 5, 7 and 9 are the missing numbers. But we know that 9 can't go here. Unfortunately, that's it. So but 7 down here, 7 down here. Okay, so that's got to be a 7 in there, hasn't it? And there's 7 blocks down here. We don't yet have a 7 in this row, but we need one, and we've only got 3 places to put it. So this 7's going to block here, 7's going to block here, meaning that a 7 has to go in that square there. So that was useful. The other missing numbers here were 5 and 9, if you remember, 5 and 9. So again, if we come down here, we can see 5 and 9 are both in this column already. But if we... will that help? Oh, hold on a second. 5 and 9. 5 in this column here. Sorry, 5 in this column here. So blocked here and blocked here. And this 5 blocking here. So we can get 5 there from that. Sorry. And the 9 blocking here. And we know that there's a 9 in there. So it's blocking there. And so 9 has to go in that square there. That's more like it. We can get this number because we must know what these 2 numbers are, because there are only 2 numbers left in this row, and that means we have to be, logically we have to be able to find this number. So 1, 2, this is 3 missing. We have an intersecting 3, so we can fill it in immediately. 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have 8 yet, so we can fill that in. Even if we hadn't found an intersecting 3 here, if we just knew that there were 3 and 8 in here, we could have found this number, right? Because it's whichever number is left. And in fact, it's a 6, so we can put that in now. Now, if you remember, we had 5, 7, and 9 in this column, so we can find out these 2 numbers, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have this as a 4. So if you remember, 5, 7, and 9, so we have missing 1, we don't have 2 yet, 3, we don't have 4. Okay, so missing numbers are 2 and 4, because remember, these are 5, 7, and 9, and so this 4 blocks here, so this has to be a 4, and this has to be a 2. Hope that made sense to you. We continue this 4 along this row, 4 along this row, and 4 down this column, 4 up this column, and so we can put 4 there. Okay. Okay. My neighbour is being quite loud. She's pretty close to the room here, as you might have guessed. My window is closed, but it's single sheet glass, no double glazing. Double glazing, not very popular here in Thailand. It's quite rare, in fact. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to start putting in some candidates at this point. It's most likely. I think that will help us a bit. So what have we got missing here? 1, 2. We don't have 3. 3 and 7 are missing here. So we'll put in that pair 3 and 7 there. Across here, 3 and 7 again, that's missing. Okay, and over here, the other missing numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9. So we can fill in 6 and 9 as a pair, like so. Down here we said 5, 7 and 9, if you remember. 9 was missing. 9 blocks this square here. But 5 and 7 can go anywhere else. So in my own marking system, I put pairs in the top left of the cell if it's a pair within a segment, not a pair across different segments. Okay, but that's how I mark my Sudoku. You may do it differently. It's okay, it's up to you. So this 8 is going to block these two squares here, so 8 has to be a pair here or here, and this 6 is going to block these two squares, so 6 is a pair down here like that. This 8 down here, this 8 here, leads to us filling in candidate 8 here. Five across this row, 5 across this row, and an intersecting 5 here means we can fill in a pair of candidate 5s in that position there. Five in this column here and 5 in this column here means we can put 5 as possible numbers to fill in those two positions. And 1 across here means that 1 has to be in either of those places. What's left here? It's 9, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so and 9 blocks this column here. That's nice, meaning 9 is there or there. So guess what? We're going to be able to do quite well here. So if 6 and 9 is a pair here like this, in these two spaces, the 1 can't exist, so we can remove that already, which will be quite good, because that means, and we have just an 8 left here, so we know that goes there, and we know that has to be a 1 now, and we know that this has to be a 1 and this has to be a 3. Did you see that? So you know, once we filled in the candidates in this section here, we're left with 6 and 9 pair here. The 8 was by itself. This was 8 or 1, clearly that's a 1. And then two ways of looking at it: either this 1 blocks this square, or you could just count through here and see that we have everything except for a 1. And so put the 1 in there, like so. Alright, now that we've done that let us fill in a couple more pair candidates. So this one blocks along here, this one blocks along here, and this one in this column. So one can go in that place there. The 8 now blocks this number here. We can remove that, and so that has to be 8, and now we've just filled in, we've just overwritten a 1, so we can put that in there. So the 1 now we can get, there's only one more 1 to get, which is up here, and so this column, this row, and this row all contain 1s already, and so that's the only space where a 1 can go now. Okay, moving along, I think making reasonable progress, not in a huge rush today, not really you know, trying to do this as quickly as possible, just taking my time and enjoying finding where the numbers go. There's a number across, an 8 across here I should say, 8 down here, 8 down here, and 8 across here now, so blocked, 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 and blocked. Meaning it has to go here, and we're overwriting this 5, so we can write that in now. And now that we do that, we can fill in a pair of 5 candidates up here. That's got to be a 5, and that's got to be a 5 there. Sorry, I forgot to say why, of course, but there's a 5 blocking this column and a 5 blocking this column. Almost forgot to point that out to you, although hopefully you noticed it yourself. You should be getting reasonable at these by now. There's a 7 across here, blocking this row here, and so allowing us to put in candidate 7 in those 2 locations there. Okay. There's a pair of 3s up here. This 3 blocks this row here, and this 3 in this column blocks, so we can put in candidates 3 in those 2 spaces there. Down here, this 9 in this column and this 9 in this column means we can put candidate 9 in those 2 locations there. And don't know if we can get much further on pair work. What is pair work? I think that has another meaning, but anyway. Oh, it was from some other kind of activity. I can't think what it is, but anyway. Okay, I don't think we're going to get much further without filling in the other candidates at this stage. Looking around, but I really don't see very much on offer. And so I think I'm just going to have to fill in the other candidates. Okay, maybe I'll see something when doing that. Ah, yeah, certainly will. There's a 2 missing, sorry, 2 blocking these 2 candidates, and this 2 blocks this square here in this row. So 2 has to be a pair either here or here. And let's bring that across, blocking over here, right? And this 2 blocking over here, and this 2 blocking here, allows us to place a number 2 here. I'm going to say a digit 2, because when I say a number 2, it sounds like I'm being rude in a children's way. That allows us again to put another number 2, digit 2, 2 up here, 2 up here. Right, so blocking this column, and blocking this row, so that square there is a 2. And we can also put in candidate 2 as a pair in the top here, like this, because we have blocking along here and blocking along here, and this 2 blocking along there. So still managing to find pairs here and there. Now that we've got fewer squares in here, this 7 blocks this, and so a 7 is a pair there or there. Missing numbers are 6 and 9. Can we tell? No. No, we can't tell which is 6 and 9 in this segment, so I'm just going to fill those in, I think, like so. I was doing this stuff over here, wasn't I? So 1, 2, 3 blocks along this row, 3 blocks along this row, but no intersecting 3s along here. So 3s are in those locations, 4, 5, 6 blocks along here, and that's it. So 6 can go here, here, and here. 7 we've got, 8 we've got, 9 we've got. Any single numbers there? No. Okay, alright, looks like we haven't made any mistakes so far, no obvious mistakes anyway that I can see. What's going on up here? So 1, 2, we've got already 3 blocks along this, 3 blocks this square here, and that's it. So 3 can go in these spaces, 4, 5, 6 blocking along this column, this 6 blocks this column, and that's it. This one blocks the same square. So 6, 6, and 6. 7s, we don't know where 7s are going. No intersecting 7s. Interesting. So let's put 7s in everywhere. And okay. Alright, okay, looks like we haven't made any mistakes yet. So let's just finish this off over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocking along here, and that's it. So 6, like so. 7s, no, we have no idea on 7s yet. 7s. 8 we've got. 9. Aha, I think that's going to give us something. 9 blocking this square here. So 9 can come in these locations, and that is going to give us something, I believe. Because I see a 3, 7 here, and I see a 3, 7 here. And so that means no. Okay, so if you're faced with this situation, so if you look in this column here, and you see 3, 7 in this square, and a 3, 7 in this square, then no other squares in this column can contain a 3 or a 7. So we had a candidate 7 here, so now we can remove that. And since it was in the top left, that means it was part of a pair, so it's easy to find the other part of its pair, and that's the 7 here, like this. Now I had 7 as a pair over here as well, so I'm going to remove that and put in the 7 here. Notice I'm overwriting a 9, so I can fill that in. And now of course I'm only left with a 6 here. Now I've got 6, 9, so that's a 9, and that's a 6. Over here we had 6, 9, so that's a 9, and that's a 6. Over here we have 6 or 3, well that's clearly a 3. There's only one number left to get here now, that's a 2. Now that we've got that 2, we had a pair of 2s here, so 2. Notice I'm overwriting a 5, so the 5 can go in here like that. That was a nice little roll there, wasn't it? So let's remove candidate 2 before I forget. And also just check on any other candidates that I might have, that I might need to remove or to deal with. In fact, don't need to. Here I noticed the 9, we had a 6 or a 9, so that's clearly a 9, and that's a 6. But let's get rid of candidate 6 now in this column, since we have a 6 here, so that can go, that can go. Alright, so far so good. What else do I need to remove? Okay, so now we are faced with 5 or 7 here, but we have a 5 in this row already, so that's our 7 now. Now that we have 7, 7 or 3, that's clearly a 3. Back down here, we know 3 or 7, that's got to be a 7. That's our 3. Okay. Make sure we get rid of candidate 3 here now. So we've got 9, 7, 9, 7 here. So there's a similar kind of thing, right? So now that we have 9, 7 and 9, 7 in these two squares, it means 9 and 7 cannot exist again in either in this column. Well, we haven't got any more numbers to look at in this column, but also within this segment here, this box here. And so we can remove the 9 and 7 here, and we can remove the 9 and 7 here, leaving us with just a 5 or a 6 in those two squares. And that would seem to match with Sudoku logic. Right, so we've got 5, 6 there, 9, 7 there. The 7 that I put in here before, we can now remove candidate 7 here, leaving us with a pair of 9 or 5, and that looks reasonable. It's okay. And over here now, I've got to do something down here, haven't I? Yep, okay, so just to finish the puzzle off now, I think this 7 we have already. There's only one remaining cell in this column, which is now a 3, because it was a 3 or a 7. This is our 7 then. When we put this 7 up and see that it blocks these two squares here, we'll see 7 has to go there. Okay, it's a 7. This is 7 or 6, so that's got to be 6. This has to be a 3. There's 7 that we put here for a 9, 7, so that's our 7. That's our 9. 9, 5, so that's 9, and that's 5. Back here, 5, 6, that's our 5. That's our 6. And that's our hard level puzzle done today. I'm going to say, can I go for a medium rare maybe? Something like that. Because I did fill in some candidates, so maybe it's slightly above the level of easy, although many people would disagree with me, I'm sure. But that's it for today's solution to the Guardian's Sudoku puzzle. Please subscribe to the channel and other Sudoku channels, and enjoy Sudoku, enjoy life, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.